So that's basically the control issue. You can call it politics, you can call it whatever. I just call it fair. I think it's absolutely fair that if they are providing us with so many jobs, so many facilities, salaries, then they can use whatever they've given to us. But the point is that if you're working for them, the control is theirs. And I think it's fair. I don't see any reason why it's not fair. Move on. Now let's talk about the creative life cycle. This is something I realized. This is something I realized while I was in ST. The creative life cycle of any person. Again, like those kids in 6th, 7th, they're full of energy. You guys are mellowed down. When you go to your first job, you will again be at a peak. You will be all in high energy, wanting to do great things. So you will be at the point when you enter an organization, you're essentially at maximum enthusiasm, you have the maximum creativity, you have great, wonderful new ideas that you want to implement. But you can't do that because it's not your company. Your idea could be great, but for 1,000 reasons, you won't get it done. So now, then the initial years, okay, you will make numerous attempts. You will go talk to X person, you go talk to Y person, you go talk to his boss, you go talk to that person's boss. You'll make numerous attempts and full-hearted attempts. Some of them will work. Yes, they will. I'm not saying they won't. Lots of people do it. It happens. And some will not. Now, after about 2 to 3 years in the organization, you get molded into a role. And the amount of responsibilities that are there on you don't leave any space for this creativity. So this, I call that the creative death, actually. After 4 or 5 years in an organization, you have too much routine work, you've moved on in life, you have personal things to handle, which are very important. You have to give time to family, you have to get settled and get married and do all those things. So, why creative death, I think, is something that we should all worry about, is for one reason. We all know brain has two sides, right? There's the right and the left, and they take care of the creative and the logical functioning of your person. As technical people, our logical side is used a lot, but the creative side, it's not used, not as much as it should be. And till the time you don't use both of these parts of your brain, you will never be a fulfilled, happy individual. So for the people who are in a creative field, it's very important to, like this friend of mine, she's going to do her MS in arts. So she was asking me, what should I do? There are two options. One is this course in Texas, where they're concentrating on technical aspects of art and graphics and design, as well as the creative part. And then there's a course in USC, which is purely arts. You know, it's purely art-based. People out of USC get better jobs and blah, blah, blah. But what I suggested to her is that she should go for the Texas course. Why? Because the balance has to be there. If you keep doing just creative work, you'll drain out. If you keep doing just logical work, you'll drain out. If you keep doing just logical work, you'll become a machine and die out. So for us guys, all technical people, creativity is very important. Now I'm not talking, creativity doesn't mean sitting and drawing something on the board. That's not what I'm asking you to do. But there are ideas that you guys will have, something that you'll fancy doing. I'm sure a lot of you have realized it. You know, when you light that first LED, it's a feeling that you can't forget ever. Like I said, I've given talks in schools, and I did something for them right there. I made a small circuit, and with a 9-volt battery, I lit an LED, and they were elated. They were clapping, all of them, the whole auditorium. So you know, that feeling that you get, that is very important. Unfortunately, in a company, in a job, doesn't work. So that's what I call the creative death. The last part you can't see, that's settled into the organization. So you're settled and you're like digging your grave. Next, please. You can skip 2. One back, one more. Yeah. So essentially, the need is for a fulfilling life. It's not that you get to sleep late, and it's not that there's no boss, blah, 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 blah. The need is for a fulfilling life. Let's go on. Yeah. Contrary to what you think, entrepreneurship means very, very, very hard work, long hours. Long hours does not mean 12 hours or 14 hours. Long hours means 40 hours continuous, 3 times a week. I've done it, standing. So, yes, very long hours, very hard work. Disappointments galore. You will fail. If not 1 out of 100, 1 out of 10 times you will fail. 9 out of 10 times you will fail. You will fail and you will learn. Every single step. So, don't fool yourself. You have to be very, very strong. Another thing, people are very rich, yeah, but the priorities are different. You won't be throwing money away. Your nature will change. You won't have money to spend on yourself for the first few years. Trust me, been there, done that. It takes the be positive phrase to a completely different level. You will feel beaten down. You will feel, one second, let me just, yeah, you will feel beaten down. You will feel like giving up lots of times. You will not sleep through the entire night because you'll be wondering that, boss, I said that I'm bond and I've started this. Will I be able to pull it through? All of that will happen. There'll be many tempting offers to give up. Surprisingly, I have been offered the post of divisional managers, even CEOs in companies. There will be very tempting offers. You just go, do a job, come back, end of the month, you get like $1.5 lakh, live happily ever after types. So there'll be many tempting offers. There'll be offers from your friends, there'll be offers from your colleagues, there'll be offers from parents, because your moms will be like, nahi mera beta bichara itni mehnat kyun kar raha hai? Or that will happen. Girlfriends, spouses, big problem. They'll all be like, what are you doing? You don't have any money to spend on yourself, blah, blah, blah. All of that will happen. But I'm not here to tell you that entrepreneurship is bad. That's the irony of the whole thing. I'm telling you all the bad things about it. There is only one mantra to success, and that is persistence, persistence, persistence. You cannot give up. 9 out of 10 failures is brilliant. 99 out of 100 is, okay, something needs to be fixed. 9 out of 10 is thumbs up, people. Keep going. You cannot give up. So how do we do it? There has to be some way, right? We are fighting against impossible odds. We don't have money. We can't afford employees. Skills, that's another problem. For any organization, you need a bunch of skills, right? For any organization, you need to understand accounts, finance, blah, 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 blah. You can't afford to hire help in the initial years. What do? You pick it up all yourself. You just have to do it. One